was my plan to go as a spy to TikTok.
When we acquire men for the app, then the ROAS is very important because they obviously spend in the app to meet the women.
When we start using the trendy sounds, the cost per action went down.
Product is king, no doubt. If people love it, they will share it.
So that's why we have super cool gay features that other dating apps don't have.
Welcome to Let's Talk Ads. We're here to push your growth, marketing tips, fun and chats. Tune in, let's rock the show.
Welcome to Let's Talk Ads. My name is Andre. I'm the founder of Admiral Media, and I'm interviewing super amazing marketers every week or every second week. And today we've got Inna Sumovska from her app, which is a LGBTQ app. I hope I didn't forget a letter or something. You can correct me if I was wrong. Inna is a senior UA manager in her, and we will be talking about her growth secrets in dating, in particular in niche dating, I guess. So, Inna, want to share a few words about your career path first, and then maybe also what is her app exactly? What are we talking about today?
Yeah, sure. I'm Inna. I'm currently a user acquisition manager at her app. Her is an app designed for Sapphic community. By Sapphic community, by Sapphic we mean like a queer women, non-binary people. So the app was created like 10 years ago, and this is something that makes her so unique because the awareness of the brand is quite high, and because the app was designed by people who are part of the community. So that's why we have super cool gay features that other dating apps don't have. I started my journey in dating like 5 years ago as a user acquisition manager at another dating app that was designed for LGBTQ+. And during this day, the main focus was TikTok. The TikTok was like a new channel for us, and I was super motivated to learn more about TikTok since before that I worked with Facebook solutions. And it ended up that I got an offer from TikTok, and I moved to Berlin to work as a client solutions manager. And I was supporting dating clients, specifically dating clients. So dating is still there. And then I decided to switch back to a marketing side, which means that I returned back as a user acquisition manager to dating products. And I was just joking. So was my plan to go as a spy to TikTok to figure it out, all the secrets about the algorithm and optimization to implement them in a product side. I'm joking, of course, but this gave like me a really great experience because I learned a lot from my clients. And yeah, so if in a nutshell, like 5 years, 3 different products. And yeah, but the funny thing about this that I never used the dating app myself. This is a funny story. Yeah, I'm joking because I met my future husband at CrossFit gym 10 years ago, and I'm joking that I'm from the world of like old dating when people meet in real life. So yeah.
Okay, how did you? Who approached whom in the CrossFit?
Actually, I did. Actually, I sent him a message on Facebook those days. So it's kind of also like online, okay? So I didn't approach him in real life. And then yes, so I did the first step, and then yeah, that was like so many years ago back.
So
But
this came of online dating in a way.
yeah.
You pre-filtered in real life.
Yeah, at the same time, people sometimes asking me, okay, use dating apps, but where you got this kind of inspiration or like insights? And I would say I adjust. I mean, I have a lot of options to get those insights. For example, one of the options that I taught TikTok algorithm, since I understand deeply how it works. And I got a lot of dating content from there and Sapphic content from there, which actually means that, yeah, since I'm more focusing on the part when you need to be clear and understandable within your ad to make sure that the user understand about your product and download the app. So I'm getting my inspiration from there. And of course, I talk to people, I talk to my team. So that's why I would say, yeah, I adjust. I don't think this is something that like a blocker for me.
Interesting story. So I myself was working in dating. I think it was like probably 10 years ago or something. I was working in Lavu. It's one
I
of the
supported
biggest.
them at TikTok.
Ah, but probably after my time because it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really
sure,
10
yeah.
years. And there were, let's say, the ad networks were more easy to manage at the time for a dating product, for a dating vertical. They have tightened the niche quite a lot because it was probably problematic with all the scam and fraud products out there, and let's call it dirty advertising, where probably too naked people were used in advertising and stuff. So it certainly became harder for dating apps in ad networks like Meta, like TikTok, to actually promote. You have to get allow listed. You have to go through some certain pre-approval processes and stuff. How's that now for an app like her? Do you still see problems with a lot of ad rejections, account getting blocked every second week? How does that work for you?
Yeah, sure. And I would answer like taking into account my whole experience in dating. I would say like every single year the ad policy is more strict. That's true, especially on TikTok and on Meta, and you always need to adjust. I always work with let us call it like white dating. So those days I now worked on the gray zone. Sorry. So I would say, yeah, the projections are still there, but you just need to understand the ad policy and some kind of like hacks so you can ally your creative approaches. But I want to mention that within the dating, I still see some kind of other challenges because it's not only about the UA side; it's more only about product and how the people use dating apps in general. So I would say there's like a couple of it's not like a challenges; it's like differences, but still it makes you sometimes complicated to work in this niche. The first thing, this is that competition is super high. So when I worked at TikTok, I noticed that a lot of dating apps, they don't really understand that unique value that they bring to the market and the difference from other dating app. So this is like a challenge, especially for a new product, to be clear and understandable what makes you different. The second point I would mention, this is about timing because dating, it's all about the moment. You need to reach out to the users when he is or she is ready to date or to meet new people. Or at the same time, you also need to be on the top of mind. So this is a super crucial. So that's why for dating, it's really, really important to pay attention on the brand awareness. Because, for example, today I'm not ready to meet new people. I have a partner. But the other day when I'm ready to date, okay, I will download the app that is like on top of my mind. And the last but not least, it's about the retention. When it comes to dating, retention is different compared to, for example, fitness. Because when people meet people, they leave the apps, and this is success for them. And actually, this is success for us, for apps, because we designed to help people meet people. But we also need to understand that dating is cyclical, so people will return if they get a great experience, but they will return in 1 year, on 1 year and a half. But this is crucial for you to create a great experience and a great success story for them to have this kind of retention. So that's why I would say it's more challenging in terms of the product and people behavior within the dating rather than with like a rejection or etc. But of course, every year it's more complicated. I'm definitely agree on this.
Would you say when you see these user behaviors of dating apps that they are so cyclical, let's say, does that influence your marketing strategy, your budgeting, maybe your bidding strategy or something like that?
It's crucial for us because for dating, the main metric, this is the daily active users. Because the retention itself, it also, if I will see a proper number of people that I want to talk to. Because, for example, if there's like one people nearby, one person nearby, of course, I will leave the app. So for the dating apps in general, this is real crucial to keep the pace of the daily active users. And this is like a synergy of both paid ads and organic channels to bring new users and to product to engage them, to return them, and etc. So that's why, this is like the main metric. My zone of responsibilities is end when the user create an account and does some kind of activity inside the app, but then the product do their best to return them and to send some kind of notification, etc., to explain about the product to make sure that user understand deeply the value and etc. And of course, the number of daily users is crucial for every dating.
Are you optimizing for a certain event, or is it straight ROAS, or how does it work for your category?
I would say it's more depends on the strategy that each product have. But for example, if the main goal is to bring new people, so this is like a custom event that will optimize towards users who create an account and then does some kind of actions inside the app on their day zero. If, for example, on my other previous project, the main goal was LTV, so there we optimize toward ROAS or purchase optimization. So I would say it depends on the stage. Where are you at the moment as a brand, and what are the main goals for now when it comes to paid? Because paid, this is not only the only channel that you need to pay attention to. We work also with organic, with influencers. We collaborate with them to make sure we do our best on organic side as well.
How's that in your app? I mean, in classic, so you need to maybe educate me here a little bit. I'm not so familiar with the terms of your specific niche in dating. So the classic dating that we also in Admiral Media usually have is looking for men and women, and it's for straight interest people, let's say. And here we have very different KPIs where, for example, we are looking for a cost per sign up for women to be as optimal as possible, to have a high female share on the app. Whereas when we acquire men for the app, then the ROAS is very important because they obviously spend in the app to meet the women or unlock features and stuff. How's that in her?
I will add a little bit in terms of like general dating. This is a classic situation when men pay and women don't. So normally the optimization that you run for female and male audience are different. But in terms of her, you need to understand this is like an app created for Sapphic community, and they deeply understand their reasons and what they are looking for. So in my case, the main goal is to make sure that I do my best to gain the higher number of new users every day. And then within the product, we do our best to make sure that they stay longer with us. But when it comes to a general dating, I would say you always have the balance between the female and male, and you have like the percentage, okay, this is like you create together with the analytics team that we need this percentage of female to make sure that male stay longer in the app. And then you, of course, even though women don't pay, you still will be running the campaigns for female because they create values for male. So this is something that also makes dating different and challenging because you just can't just run and optimize, you always need to pay attention to this specific details that, for example, in other niche, you can just skip them.
Yeah, absolutely. How's that in Facebook targeting, for example? I'm not entirely sure. Do you target just completely broad, or do you go gender by gender, or how does that work for you? What's the best setup for an app like you?
Yeah, a good one. I know there's like a lot of ideas and thoughts on this. Should we use targeting, or should we use broad, or everything is automated, or are we sure that the platforms, will find the core of audience with the broad? And I have a case. This is not at the Her app, but I'm still want to share. It also was within the LGBTQ plus product. And those days are on broad. And what I noticed that the CTR was super high for some kind of videos, but the conversion rate from impression to install was super low. And now I started checking the comments inside under the ad. And I figured it out that there was like a lot of comments like, come on, this is not for me. I'm not the part of the community. And I'm telling you, it's on a different way. It was super rude comments. And then I figured it out that I don't have any options on the targeting side to specify your preferences, which is understandable because this is kind of sensitive content. But what I can do within my creatives, do my best to help the system understand the core of the audience. So what I done after this, I came to our creative team and I told them, okay, guys, so we need to say in the first second that this video, this is specific for this community. And we even have a script. If you are not part of the community, keep scrolling. And I say, in this way, we will take care of those guys who just don't want to see this ad. But on the other hand, we will explain to our audience, this is video for you. And you know what? We change every single video aligned to this approach. We got a really great success because the system started understand better the core of the audience and the actual core of the audience, even though I were running broad. And that was funny because after a couple of months, the TikTok team came to us and they shared some kind of trendy stuff in the creative approaches. And one of the approach, it was our script because the competitors start using this. And I was just, oh my gosh, this is so cool to understand that you create something that is already trend in the industry. On the top of that, I remember that when I ran the ad, that was the communication was specifically for female, and I did broad. Just wanted to understand how the system will split the impressions, and 90% of the impressions went to female audience. I'm not saying that you should run broad if you just want to focus on female or male. I just want to say that within the proper communication, the system and the algorithm will better understand the core. So I still test from time to time lookalike, interest, but to be honest, broad work better if you pay a super great attention on your creative approaches. This is a key. So I guess the main success that you can get to pay your attention on the creatives, to have a proper creative setup, understand how to test, how to figure it out faster, which creative has potential or not, and then scale this approach.
This falls a little bit back into the saying that creative is a new targeting. So this is what I hear.
Yeah.
That this replaces the individual targeting options a little bit, right?
Yeah. And you know what? Yeah, I just wanted to add that when I just started using TikTok as a user acquisition manager, it was like 2021 or something. I remember that, okay, I tested it for myself as per the user. And I remember that in 10 minutes, the system figured it out my 3 interests. It was sport, it was dogs. I have a dog, and it was standups. So I mean, at first the system started showing me some kind of celebrities, etc., and then in 10 minutes, what it means for me as for a marketer that the algorithms work in a good way, of course, but the creative, yeah, it's the key, and yeah, I'm agreed it's a new targeting.
What we see sometimes, coming back to the topic, what works better? Is it broad or is it, let's say, interest targeting and lookalikes? We as an agency, we work across many different verticals, right? And I can't really identify a pattern that it's always broad or always individual targeting that works better. What I rather see is that basically for any app that we are working with, it's for some time broad targeting works really well. Then it suddenly declines. We are not able to get it back to normal. And then we switch to individuals or manual targeting. And then this works for some time. And then we have to switch it back again. So that's a little bit an on and off relationship with the ad network in some way for us. Do you see a similar thing on your side, or is it always broad for you?
I think in my case, because this is a dating, and for example, again, when it comes to general dating, so I would say almost everyone can use dating, right? The problem that I'm not sure if this is like a proper time for a user because I don't have this kind of option to choose in the targeting. So I would say this is because of the dating niche. I believe, for example, if you run fitness, definitely I would say I would try some kind of interest, and I'm sure that you can succeed using this kind of targeting there. But when it comes to dating, I would say this is maybe like a specific of this niche. I would say I test different kind of targeting, but normally my main campaigns still run with broad for female audience, of course, and I can play with them even with the age. For example, what I also noticed that within your creative, you can also impact the core of the age group. For example, what I mean, if our creator, a young lady, 25 years old, so normally the core of the impressions goes to this specific age group. And for example, when I worked on another project, we were testing more mature audience. And when the woman on the ad was like 45 years old, so the majority of impressions went to this, because this is because how system works. Young people, they didn't engage with the image with the more mature women and vice versa. So that's why, yeah, I would say I pay more attention on the creative. I just deeply try to understand where they started clicking, what kind of hook we use that help us to succeed, and then try to scale this approach. For example, one of the idea that I can share, I noticed that when we use, it's super basic, but not all of the brands do this, to be honest. When we start using the trendy sounds, I saw like the cost per action went down every time when we were using like the trendy sounds. And this is challenging to do because you always need keep an eye on trendy sounds, check which sounds the influencer use within the ad. Of course, you need some extra resources from your end to do this. But I see like a super, great coloration between this. And one of the points that we do, it's using trendy sound that help us to lower our cost per action.
Interesting. That's a nice tip, actually. Apart from trending sounds, I very often hear the buzzword hooks. For probably you're talking about UGC and IGC and this type of content. We are basically no one's talking about classic motion design ads anymore. Is my feeling.
Yeah. But it
how do you
depends.
go about testing? Yeah, well, of course, it always depends in some way. But how do you go about testing new hooks? When or how many hooks do you need per week or per ad network, or how do you define the creative needs interval?
I can say that I'm testing specifically like a number of hooks or something. We are having like I would say a number of creatives that I can test within the budget that we have. So I would say we worked with creators but at the same way, we give them freedom to express themselves. So what I mean is they don't have like a specific script that they need to align to, but they know specifically that we need to open the ad with this kind of like opening, like, are you a girl looking for a girl or something like this? And then they free to add any kind of insights, any kind of ideas that they think that they could add and express themselves, because all of the influencers, creators, I will call them creators because because for example on TikTok the number of followers, it doesn't matter, since the content is engaging. So I would say all of them are part of the community. They're using datings or they're part of the community, and they just try to share their real stories. And it's like, yeah, of course it makes difference. So that's, I would say, we also pay our attention not only on the script, the hooks and trendy sounds, but also on a types of creators, because I noticed that there's like some types that work better and work not, and we try to understand and to, yeah, or maybe reach out to our users to get some kind of feedback regarding the ads that we are running, how it's ally actually from their perspective. So yeah, the main idea here is to have a proper benchmarks, for example, for CPM, CPC, like upper funnel metrics, because, for example, when it comes to scan, you need to wait for a couple of days to make sure how it works. But even though I have like benchmarks for an upper funnel metric to understand if this specific video have a potential or not, should I keep running it or not, and only after that scaling. So that's why to make like a proper setup, which event is better for you for your test? Is it install or maybe this is purchase? Again, it will depend on the product and on the budget. And then make sure that you have this kind of benchmarks to make sure that you can test faster, but at the same time cheaper for yourself in terms to spend less to figure it out the top performing videos.
We have touched a lot of steps in the day-to-day work of user acquisition, like bidding, budgeting, creative production, with all the research that is needed with trending sounds, hook creation, and so on and so on. There's a lot of steps. I'm sure in some way you're using AI to bring in this hot topic into this conversation as well. I'm sure you're using it to get inspiration for creative production in some way. I'm sure you're using Midjourney and others for visuals. Maybe you're certainly using something like RCATs for AI. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but is AI also maybe already deeper integrated into your workflows internally, or is it basically the same thing that you're prompting into RCATs and you get a little bit of output and then you put it into the channels? Or is there something much deeper woven into your day-to-day work?
I would say AI, of course, helped me to make some kind of automation in terms of like kind of rules that help me to make sure that I'm managing the campaigns, especially since I'm running not only one channel, I'm responsible for running multi-channels. But in terms of creatives, we are not using a AI avatar in our ads, and I'm not sure that we will. Because for dating, I believe it's more about the trust. And when people can figure it out that this is like, it's not a real person sharing the experience and won't trust us. So I would say at the moment, of course, in terms of some automation stuff, uploading videos, automatic rules, etc. And of course, for summarizing the information after our brainstorming. But still, the main ideas for our creative approaches, I'm still getting from the community, because I'm not sure that the AI can, do it in a proper way. So that's why this is how it works for us. But I know a lot of apps, especially from other verticals, they're using AI avatars in their ads. They're helping to make like a different videos for different geos, like in a couple of minutes, etc. So yeah, I would say it's maybe because of of the specific of iDating and our product. But currently it works in such way.
Interesting. Is it like a vibrant discussion that you have internally with your CMO maybe, or whoever is responsible for this decision? Let's do AI GC or not? Is it something that you're discussing internally, or is it just like, hey, no, let's
We
not
do.
touch it?
Yeah, no. I mean, of course, we did, but we agreed on this, that we are from actual community, for real community, and we want to keep this authentic thing on our end. So that's why, this is approach that we share within the team. And this is simply because, again, what I tell you, that people can figure it out if this like a real person or not. And we don't want to, do some kind of mislead from the very beginning. The values of our
Makes
product is different. So that's why I guess it's more coming from our values, rather than like we just want to pretend that nothing happened in terms of AI, etc.
I mean, dating always has this negative connotation that there's a lot of fake profiles on the apps and stuff, especially as men are trying to match with a lot of girls on dating apps. And then they are chatting with a bot or something, right? So there's constantly something in the news or in the press or complaints from users. So I totally get the approach to say maybe AI GC is not the right way if we are paying a lot of attention to establish a brand that stands for real people and proper validation process to match and enable people to have real dates in the end of the day, right? I totally get that. How is that with maybe jumping a little bit away from paid social? Do you do a lot of search advertising as well? And how do you see? I guess many people are now asking GPT, like, what are the top 3 dating apps in my interest category? Are you doing anything in that direction to be listed in GPT, or what's your take here?
Yeah, what I noticed that starting from the last year, every single month, the number of users who get to the store from the ChatGPT is increasing. And I'm sure that every single month, the number will be higher and higher. And I'm not the one who's responsible for this kind of like AI optimization. But what I can see and understand from my perspective, when it comes to AI, it's not only about the keywords or description and etc. that you add on the website or your App Store page. It's also about how are you visible within the community, within your users. Are they talking about you on Reddit? How many reviews do you have? What is your ranking? So I would say the main hug here to create a great product. And then, of course, it will help you to be on the first stage on the list. And I actually tested this. I asked my ChatGPT, okay, can you share with me the list of Sapphic dating app? And the first was her. And this is because we are visible, we are create a great content blog, we educate our audience, we are present in media, we are creating a different like features that other don't have within the niche. We got a lot of reviews, people talk about us on Reddit, etc. So this is something that of course help us. So yeah, I would say, of course, there are some hacks that you can use, but in long run, you just need to pay attention and create a really great product.
Product is king, no doubt. If people love it, they will share it, right? So that's certainly a very important factor. You mentioned Reddit. Is it a UA channel for you? Is it working well for you? Does it scale?
We haven't yet, but the people themselves, they are talking about her on Reddit, like sharing their experience, etc. So that's why I mentioned this channel. But I was thinking about trying Reddit as well, especially when a couple of months back, TikTok was supposed to be banned in the US. So this is like also, each UA need to make this kind of diversification of your channel. You can't rely just on one channel.
I love that our industry is so dynamic. Always some fire to fight. Okay, I think we've touched on a lot of topics today. Thank you very much for sharing so many insights, Inna. Out of interest, where are you?
I'm based in Lisbon, Portugal. I moved 1 year ago, and sunny Lisbon. So.
And why are you there?
It's actually happened like coincidentally, but still, I really enjoy this place. It's really nice place to settle down for a while. The weather is perfect, the food is perfect, people is perfect. So if any one of you who will be listening based in Lisbon as well, I'm ready for coffee catch-up.
So guys, if you have questions to Inna, of course, we would be super happy if you would like, share, comment on whatever you've heard today in this show. But you can also reach out to Inna. I understood you are also doing some consulting for businesses. Is that right? What are you helping other businesses with?
Yeah, sometimes from time to time, some businesses reach out to me in terms of promoting on TikTok specifically. So I'm ready to share my experience, and I'm also ready to learn from others. So I'm open, like, to have some kind of like knowledge sharing, sessions. So it's also something that I do from time to time.
Nice. And what's the plan for the rest of the day? Walking the dog? What's the name, by the way?
My dog, and you can see him here. I call him, this is a funny story. I call him Burpee, and this is an exercise from CrossFit that I hate. And I remember that my coach told me, if you want to love burpees, you should do more burpees. And I told, no, I just need to have a dog, and I'll call him Burpee, and I love him, but I hate burpees. But this burpee I love.
I learned hating burpee as well when I did CrossFit. I don't know. In Germany, I don't know. When you do it in Lisbon, maybe they do the same exercise that you always have to do a burpee to the song Roxanne from Frog Sting. Are they doing that?
Yeah, it could be. So burpee is always part of something like a super horrible stuff, They added it into the workouts in some like horrible combinations. So that's why, I did CrossFit in Germany as well when I lived in Berlin,
Yeah, I was just surprised how often the word Roxanne is actually said in the song. Like, how many fucking burpees do I have to do here? Every time they say you have to do that burpee, like I was dead after that.
This is they were created for to be dead after.
Was created to kill people. Yeah, I got. Okay.
Yeah.
Inna, this was a really great show. Thank you very much for coming. I hope you enjoyed as well. And again, to the audience, reach out to Inna with questions about anything TikTok or dating app marketing whatsoever. And again, please share, like, comment. Feedback is always welcome. We try to improve the show, obviously, and get more insights here. And if you want to speak and share your insights, reach out to me. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Inna.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
We're here to boost your growth, marketing tips, fun and chats. Tune